Sláinte and welcome to Rauta's Black Metal Reviews. This time we go to Ireland, which is not exactly the most popular or biggest country when it comes to black metal. I mean, pretty much we can use single digits to count the relevant or good known black metal bands from Ireland. I don't know why exactly it is like that, but be it as it may, it's not exactly the country that seems to, give birth to these kind of bands in big numbers. But here it is, a Valais debut album, which was originally released in digital format in 2021 and early 2022. This came out to Signal Rex, a label that is mostly focused on raw end of black metal. As you can see with this CD, there are no booklets, there are no lyrics, there are no credits, there are no lineup mentions, nothing. Very simple. I think the graphics are beautiful, the layout looks nice, but this creates a layer of mysticism. What is this band all about? Since there is nothing. Is it just pure humbleness or just mysticism the band wants to keep? Here in Metal Archive, you can pretty much see there is nothing, absolutely nothing of information. No lineup information, no previews, releases to this one, and here it even says it's an unsigned independent. Be it as it may, this one is indeed a Signal Rex release, which you can see it here, and other versions are here listed also on the other versions tab. Songs just go simply with Roman numbers from 1 to 5, which is another thing that makes this even more minimal in nature. You don't have song names, you don't have lineup, you don't have actually any words apart from the band and album name. So there is only one question left. Is the music good? Unfortunately, it is. Now, if I were to say this is a raw black metal release, I would be lying a little bit. But obviously this is a matter of taste how you define raw black metal. But let's call it crude one, because this is definitely on the cruder side or even rawer side of black metal when we start comparing it to rather classic 1990s black metal bands with a lot of melodies or 1980s trasher parts. This is the kind of a crude and simple stuff, but not exactly like Ildiarn. Let's be honest about it. This is not primitive, even though it's crude. And there are tempo variations from the faster and more energetic parts to kind of a slow down parts. Not exactly doom, but really in terms of black metal, this is quite slow tempo at some points. And there are lots of interesting riffs which actually make this whole atmosphere rather interesting. And raspier vocals and everything is like, yes, this is definitely a black metal one, even though you don't have a clue what these lyrics are all about, what these songs are all about. So, of course, you kind of let your imagination go wild when you're trying to label this, because, I mean, if you were to include lyrics when you define black metal, how can you really label this as a black metal one if you don't know anything about lyrics or statements or whatever? This is more a philosophical question, you don't need to reply that, but this is something that has been constantly going on for the past 30 years, as far as I can remember. Is it really black metal if the lyrics aren't really about black metal or whatever? You get the idea. Now, this is, of course, up to individual and all that stuff, so I will leave that conversation to other places. Just something to remind you, like where you draw the line when there are albums which are super mystic. I mean, this could be all about plastic toys or, I don't know, ice cream, or, making love to your beautiful girlfriend. At which point you would say, I don't know if it's really black metal, even though the riffs or the production or vocals are really doing that. Just making a point here, don't get stuck with that idea. But on the music side, this is definitely on the good side. I wouldn't say exactly great, because on the long run, this album could actually benefit of, more memorability. I wouldn't use the word catch, because this is not exactly a catchy album in the sense. But then again, most of the more recognized and praised songs, even in black metal, often are very catchy. So while it might rub you the wrong way as an idea, I don't like my black metal to be catchy. Yeah, but a lot of people do. Whether we are talking about classic Mayhem or Bathory albums or, I don't know, Marduk or Darkthrone, we all know what it means catchy in the terms of black metal. And that's where Valais fails a little bit. Like I said, these songs could be a lot more memorable, but they have the right kind of ideas, in my opinion, to justify to be called a good album. The production is very fitting for this kind of a good music, and the vocals can't really bitch about them, even though they're maybe nothing special. So whatever the theme of the albums is, or whatever the lyrics are all about, apart from that, this is a good album and I strongly recommend you to check it out. You will find links provided in the description box. Now it is up to you whether to check it out or not. This is Rauta, take care and see you soon with more reviews coming your way.